Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's First Time Buyer webinar. My name is Linda Clark, and I'm the editor of First Time Buyer. So this week, we're going to be celebrating Shared Ownership Week 2020, which runs from the 17th to the 23rd of September. And it's a very exciting week full of lots of information and things that you can look at and join in if you'd like. So today I'm joined by two lovely experts. We have Sarah Andrews, who's the marketing manager of Notting Hill Genesis. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. And we have sales manager Daniel Cummings from Hyde New Homes. Hello, Daniel.
Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. So Shared Ownership Week is, as I say, a very, very exciting time. It champions the affordable home ownership scheme that doesn't break the bank, which I'm sure many of you first-time buyers will be very, very keen to know. It's helped thousands of first-time buyers already get onto the housing ladder, and it could help you. So please do take heed today and listen and go to sharedownershipweek.co.uk, the website, where you're going to find so much information and it will really, really help you to understand how it all works. So if you're saving for a deposit and you think it's out of reach, shared ownership can make it really possible to own your own home. It's a government-backed scheme and it's designed as a stepping stone by part owning and part renting a property. But we will let our experts talk to you about that in a little bit. So it does give you long-term security and stability of home ownership, which is really important, and so many of us are longing for that to happen. But most of all, it's affordable. All the housing associations will be offering shared ownership, and today the Shared Ownership Week is backed by some of the UK's leading housing associations, including New Lawn Living, Notting Hill Genesis, So Resi, Peabody, Hyde New Homes, L&Q, Network Homes, Share to Buy, and Sensio, who actually are a financial mortgage people. So thank you so much for being our partners today. So this is the second webinar in the festival events across the week. If you missed yesterday's webinar, you can find it on the Shared Ownership YouTube channel, and also make sure you sign up for the rest of the webinars that are going on throughout the rest of the week. On Wednesday, on the 23rd, this is our headline event where Johnny Irwin, who's a TV presenter who I'm sure many of you will know from Escape to the Country and A Place in the Sun, is hosting a live Q&A session with experts across the sector, including myself. So I will see you all hopefully next Wednesday. So without further ado, I think we'll ask Sarah if she could explain a little bit about the shared ownership process.
Thank you, Linda. So I'm here to talk to you today about what the benefits of shared ownership are. I work for Notting Hill Genesis, and we're one of the largest housing associations, and we predominantly build within London. So, you know, why shared ownership? And as Linda's mentioned, shared ownership really, really does make it possible to buy a home that otherwise might have seemed out of reach. It's got that flexibility. You purchase a share of the property with a mortgage, which could be as little as 25% and then up to 75%. It's a part buy, part rent scheme, so you pay a subsidised rent on the remaining share. And when you can afford to, there's no pressure, you can increase the amount you own by buying a further share until you own 100% of your home. And you would have heard us say staircasing, and that simply is what that is. Shared ownership is a way of buying a high quality home in a desirable location for less than you might afford, because the combined cost of a subsidised rent and a monthly mortgage payment is often cheaper than renting a similar home. And when you go into our sales offices and you pick up a price list, it's often demonstrated. You'll see when you break down the costs of the share that you purchase, the deposit that you require, the estimated mortgage payments, the estimated service charge, and the rent. You can have a look at that and weigh up what that is if you are currently renting versus what it would be to start to own a home of your own through shared ownership. So what are the exact benefits? Well, you might need, it's a lower deposit required, because as you're buying only a share of the full market value of your deposit, market value of the home, your deposit will be based on that share. So it might mean that you might not have to save for as long. For example, on an £80,000 share, your deposit, if you're looking around about 10%, is about £8,000. So that might make you have the opportunity to get on the property ladder earlier with a less amount of savings. You've really, really got an opportunity to make it your own, because as a leaseholder, you have a freedom to make your home your own. The decoration is down to you. And especially in the case of newly built homes, it's a blank canvas. You walk through the door and everything is clean and fresh and available for you to put your really, really special touch on it. You also benefit from any value increase. So when you sell your home, you'll get the current market value for the share you own. So you will benefit for any increase in the property's value. And as I said previously, it's a new home. It's got the latest styles, the latest specification and technologies. And we make sure that we build in sought after locations with fantastic amenities nearby, walking distance to stations to help with your commute, near to schools, facilities, gyms, shops, restaurants. And as you walk through your door, you'll see some of the latest brands in the kitchen appliances. More often have flooring included, and storage, etc. So it really is a lovely experience having a new home fresh, ready for you to start. So why buy new? Each year, housing associations such as Notting Hill Genesis, we help thousands buy an affordable home of their own. This experience really, really means that we can provide support and guidance at each step of the process. We normally have a marketing suite and a show apartment. The show apartment will show you how you can furnish your home, how you can make room layouts work better. When it comes to purchasing, and I know Daniel will talk about this in a bit more detail after me, we've got expert sales advisors, and they can really, really walk you through step by step the process that you need. If you need to involve mum and dad in the process, then they can also visit the marketing suite and the show home and again speak to us. We have access to independent financial advisors and independent legal advisors. So we can really, really help you work through their options and see where that flexibility lies. We offer an amazing choice of properties, so we can help you find something that really is right for you. And if you go onto our website or Share to Buy, you'll see that it ranges from studio apartments up to sort of 3-bedroom apartments. You've got duplexes, and then you've got family houses. And within the latest technologies, and I said with the latest locations, we're pretty confident that we could find something that you would like to inquire about. As mentioned before, on the part that you don't own, we charge subsidised rents. So we're trying to make that home more affordable for you. And this is a nice thing as well about buying through a housing association and all the great work that we do in the community. And we invest back into those communities where we work. So we contribute to local amenities, and where possible, we build much more homes. And we work with many national house builders and local contractors, and all newly built homes come with either an NHBC warranty or something equivalent. So you've got that little piece of peace of mind. Thank you very much for listening. Obviously, there's lots of details on the Shared Ownership Week website, and obviously, please visit us at nhdsales.com, where you can see where our properties and where we're building. We've got tons more information about shared ownership for you to read. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. That's fabulous. Wow, it's a really affordable way to get on the ladder, and it's a very, very good scheme altogether. So, Daniel, we'd like you now, if you could, to describe the sales process.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Linda. So my name's Daniel Cummings. I'm one of 2 sales managers at Hyde New Homes, and I'm responsible for overseeing the sales process for our shared ownership activities at the Hyde Group. So I'm going to take you now through our sales process, just to give you a bit of an oversight on the process from an inquiry through to completion and key handover of a new home. So the sales process all begins with the initial inquiry, which can be made on one of many websites or by telephone to our sales office. Once we receive that inquiry, it all gets logged onto our customer relationship management system, where we can track and trace all of our leads through to completion. One of our dedicated sales team will then pick up on that inquiry. We'll go through the criteria process and any affordability relating to that property or development that you've registered your interest on. Once we've gone through that eligibility process, we will then offer you an opportunity to secure an appointment to go view one of our marketing suites, and we will offer that either on-site personally with one of our sales consultants, or we can offer a virtual appointment with one of our sales team. And prior to your appointment, whether that be on-site or virtually, we will get you to book in for a financial assessment, which will determine whether that property is affordable to you. And that will just give you a bit more of an overview on the outgoings and costs associated to that home prior to you providing you with a reservation. On site, once you meet one of our sales consultants at our marketing suite, they will be guiding you through the process, holding your hand all the way through to completion, and will be your one contact throughout, which will give you some comfort and dedication from one of our colleagues. Following your viewing, you can secure a home with a reservation fee from as little as £99, and that will commence the sales process of you purchasing one of our shared ownership properties. And once we've offered you the home, memorandum of sale is issued and solicitors are instructed, the sales process really does begin. During this time, your mortgage application will be submitted, your valuation will be carried out, and your solicitors will commence their legal inquiries and documentation. Once all of that is completed and your mortgage offer has been received, you will then proceed to exchange of contracts, and a completion date will then be fixed. Prior to your completion day and key handover, Hyde will offer you a home demonstration at the property, and this will show you the full workings of your new home with one of our dedicated product quality coordinators. Following your home demonstration, your sales consultant will meet you at the property on the day of completion, go through that process, and hand you over the keys. And that's from the sales process from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Yes, there's a lot of information to take on board. So I do suggest that you go to either Notting Hill Genesis or Hyde New Homes websites, where you will find a lot more. Or, of course, go to the Shared Ownership Week.co.uk website, where you can join up for the other webinars through the week. There's lots of stories, properties, and you can learn more about the buying process, because it is hard to obviously listen and take notes at the same time. I know that feeling. So I'm sure you've both got some wonderful show homes that you'd like to show us. So Sarah, have you got your showcase of one of your lovely developments, please?
Yes, of course, Linda. So I'm really excited to share with you today our latest scheme, Heron Quarter, and that's based in Woodbury Down. Now, Woodbury Down is an incredibly popular development in the North London region of M4 in partnership with Berkeley Homes. There's already a number of people living and enjoying Woodbury Down. Heron Quarter is our latest phase. It's shared ownership, and it's 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. What is so superb about this scheme is it's generous in its living space, with a very lovely contemporary edge. Full height windows add to the light, and as you walk around the show apartment, which you can see on these slides, and when you visit the development, you will see that the specification really speaks for itself. State-of-the-art kitchens, beautiful muted colours, and more importantly, integrated appliances, all brand new, and modern finishes, and the benefit and convenience of flooring throughout. So you've got some really nice timber effect flooring in the living areas and into the bedroom. It's a really lovely sumptuous carpet. In this day and age, we fully understand how important outdoor space is. And so apartments have their own private terrace if you're to the ground floor, and if you're on the upper floors, you have a balcony. And some of the apartments have access to the courtyard gardens, which sit within the sort of centre of the development. Prices start from 106,875. So remember, we talked about purchasing a share, so that's the share price that you see. We launched in August and already 50% sold. But don't worry, if you we want to hold off a little bit longer. We have a new phase coming in 2021. So what's great about living at Woodbury Down? Well, the CGI will speak for itself. It's 15 acres of parkland to enjoy. You know, the outside space speaks for itself. And you wouldn't believe this actually was in, you know, a part of North London. 42 acres of open water on your doorstep. So you're nearby to the Woodbury wetlands, amazing wildlife, bird life, and water sports. Within the development itself, there's restaurants and cafes and bars, and there's a gym around the corner and dry cleaners. So, you know, great convenience for you, because we all know how busy your lives are. And with outdoor and indoor sports facilities available either within the development at extra charge or around the corner, you have all you need to do to keep fit and healthy, and you need to keep good mental health. And as we all need to do, if you need to commute or you need to discover the wider central London, it's a convenient 2-minute walk from Manor House Underground. And that's just a picture of the show apartment that you see, and, you know, showing that sumptuous carpet to the bedroom. For more details, please visit us at nhdsales.com, where you can see pricing and availability. Our marketing suite and show apartment are open 5 days a week, and hopefully we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Amazing development, Sarah. I personally visited it not so long ago, and it really is stunning, with incredible views over to that wonderful water. Very nice.
Absolutely.
Daniel, I wondered if you'd like to show us some of your lovely Hyde New Homes show homes.
Yeah, absolutely. So our property showcase for this week is our development Helix in Harlesden in northwest London. So this is our final phase of our new Stonebridge Park regeneration development. It's a 5-minute walk to the Harlesden tube station, which serves the Bakerloo and London overground lines, and is a 15-minute journey to Paddington from Harlesden station. Helix itself is a development of 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom homes, and our prices, as you can see on the slide here, start from 85,000, which is a 25% share. So you can see from some of the images here, which have been taken from our 2-bedroom show apartment on site, we've got the high gloss kitchen units with integrated appliances. We've got fitted wardrobes to all master bedrooms, underfloor heating throughout, and all properties come with at least 1 parking space in a secure underground parking area. Again, we've got outdoor space available, so properties benefit from a balconies. We've also got a shared podium level as well for our leaseholders to enjoy. And once again, as I mentioned a moment ago, this development forms part of our award-winning Stonebridge Park development, which we're extremely proud of. The marketing suite and sales arena is open at the moment for appointments to view. And we've also got a short video of which forms part of our virtual tour, which is available on our website. So you can visit the Hyde New Homes website, search for the development, and you will have the access to that virtual tour, which will give you a walkthrough of that 2-bedroom show apartment, which gives you a full view of the specification provided, and you do have access on site to view as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. What a lovely development. I really wish I was a first-time buyer. So we are going to be doing some questions in a minute. And obviously, if you do have a question, please do send it to us via Facebook, and we'll do our best to answer them. But before we do that, I just want to show you a very, very, very quick video, which I think you'll just enjoy. just a little bit of music to brighten up our Friday morning. So let's go into the questions. I know there's a lot that have been coming in. So without further ado, could we have the first question, please?
Yeah, are shared ownership homes built and finished to the same quality as private sale homes in the same development?
Oh, Sarah.
Absolutely. We take the same care and attention as we do for our shared ownership homes as we do for our private sale. There's the same amount of quality, and obviously we adhere to the same standards. What you might see is you might see a slight variation in specification. There might be a slight difference in maybe the brand of the kitchen appliances or maybe the finish or colour of the kitchens, but absolutely the quality is the same.
Great. And Daniel, have you anything to add?
No, I would just echo Sarah's comments there. The standard throughout would be consistent depending on shared ownership or not. But as Sarah mentions, maybe a slight variation to colour or a style, but standard, we wouldn't kind of take any shortcuts on that.
Fabulous, thank you. Another question, please.
Yep, so this one's on stamp duty. How does stamp duty work with shared ownership? Do I pay it on the share of purchase or on the full property value?
Oh, we've got a stamp duty holiday at the moment, but Daniel, can you explain a bit about that? Yeah,
so you do have the option to pay it either on the share or the full value. But I'm aware we have a webinar on Tuesday, which is going to be focusing on some legal and financial advice. So I would recommend tuning in on Tuesday, where that question will probably be picked up, and they'll be able to give you a bit more advice on that in that webinar.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Yes, absolutely. Could we have another question?
Yeah, can I have pets in my shared ownership home?
Oh, yes. Can you have pets, Sarah? Your favourite?
Do you know what? It depends. It depends what's in the lease. So what I would recommend that you do if you do have a pet is before you then sort of widen your search and sort of go down a route, just make sure you're open and transparent and talk to the sales advisor on site and say, look, I have a cat or I have a dog, what is the situation? And they'll be able to tell you straight away, a few phone calls, and then you'll know for sure.
Very good. Same with Hyde, is it, Dan? With
Absolutely, yeah. I think transparency is the key at the outset. So just make it clear from that very first inquiry, rather than leaving it till we're getting later on down that sales process and finding out that we're not able to accommodate any pets. So I think, yeah, transparency is the key. Ask at the point of inquiry and somebody from our sales team will absolutely confirm. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you. Another question.
Yeah, so this one is about the kinds of properties that are available. They're wondering if there are 3 and 4 bedroom homes or it's just available on flats.
Oh, Sarah.
Yeah, shared ownership is available on all types of property. So, you know, you will see a number of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, but no, we've marketed houses, 3 and 4 bedroom houses. And also remember as well, we have just moving forward with the times, but we have like a new take on maisonette. So you'll see in a number of our developments and the other housing associations that we have what we call duplexes. So it's living on 2 levels. And more often than not, you have your own front door and you have outside space as well. So different take on a home, different take on a house. So worth exploring.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any houses, Dan?
Absolutely, yes. As Sarah says, we offer a mix of houses, apartments throughout our portfolio, and at our showcase development at Helix, we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 beds, apartments and duplexes available. And as part of our sales arena, we do have a duplex view apartment to have a look at, so our customers can see from a standard two bedroom apartment the difference to a duplex with the 2 levels and your own entrance. Just given that option and the variety on some of our new developments.
That sounds great. Duplexes sound fantastic. It's a really good way to sort of live in a house with an upstairs and but not live in a house, if you know what I mean. Excellent. Another question.
Yeah, so this one's on rent on the portion that they don't own. Does the rent increase on that portion? I guess this person's trying to work out a budget and see how the rent is set as well.
It's very sensible working out a budget. Daniel, does the rent increase?
It is, yeah. So our rents are predominantly set at 2.75% of the unsold equity. So that's how the rent is calculated on the share that our customers can purchase. That's all illustrated on our price lists, and we document what the sales policy is for our rents. And within the lease, there is a rent review calculation, which is reviewed each April every year. So it's reviewed in line with RPI at the time. But again, you can pick up the phone and speak to one of our sales teams who can just guide you through in further detail. And there'll also be some information on our website as well.
That's really good. I think you'd both probably agree that part by part rent, you're going to be paying a lot less than paying rent on the open market, where, you know, rents can be very, very high. It does work out a lot cheaper. From the first time buyers that contact me, they always seem to say that, you know, once they've gone through the shared ownership route, they're paying a lot less with a mortgage.
Well, absolutely, and because we work it out for you on the price list, you can see almost immediately to your first visit, either to the sales office or when you're searching, you can make that comparison quite quickly, and then you've got lots of opportunity then to shop around and see what developments suit you and see what fits in with your affordability.
Yeah, that's really important. Thank you. Do we have another question?
Yeah, is there an age limit for using the shared ownership scheme?
Oh, is there an age limit? Daniel?
No, there's not. It's all down to affordability. So we've got dedicated mortgage advisors. And again, the Tuesday seminar will probably touch on some affordability. So it is really key that they pass the affordability assessments and can sustain that monthly payments going forward. So it's all about sustainability in the long term and affordability from the outset. So we wouldn't look at the age at that instance. It would be down to that advice that we get from our mortgage brokers. So anybody that's got any concerns over affordability, I would suggest tuning in Tuesday again, maybe asking the question or contacting one of our dedicated advisors who can give some free advice on that.
Well, that's good. So, I mean, you can't feel that, you know, if you're not particularly a very young person, you can still get on the housing ladder through shared ownership, which is very important. Lovely.
Absolutely.
Another question.
Yeah, so this kind of follows up on that. What are the actual eligibility criteria for shared ownership?
Daniel, do you want to take?
Yeah, I can answer that. So it can vary from developments to development. So we can have some of our schemes that are restricted to those that live or work in a particular area. So we will be targeted by the local authority to offer to people in those areas. Or it will be purely down to affordability. So we, on our price list, will outline what the total outgoings are. On the back of that, what the minimum income and deposit requirement would be for you to purchase one of those properties. So from the outset, just by looking at that price list, you can determine whether that home would be affordable to you. So it's either live or work connections if we're asked to do so, or it will really be down to the affordability process. So again, there is a variation. So I would just suggest making an inquiry, and following on from that inquiry, we will guide you through that criteria specific to that home or development.
I'm sure you'd echo that, wouldn't you, Sarah? The same,
Yeah.
Notting Hill Genesis.
Absolutely, we concur with that. And again, it's sort of going back to being transparent as well and talking through your current situation as well. And then we work with obviously our expert advisors as well.
Yeah, I do know that all the housing associations are very good at hand holding, because, you know, you've never done this before. So I know that you both have a very good experts that will help you and explain along the way. So that's really good. Another question.
Yeah, do either of you offer shared ownership discounts to key workers?
Sarah, do you have discounted key worker homes?
Not currently, we don't. Shared ownership historically, so many years ago, used to be a key worker scheme. And I think there's always a slight confusion that maybe you have to have a certain occupation in order to qualify for shared ownership. You don't. Going back to what Daniel was saying, it was all to do about affordability and eligibility. And obviously you have to have employment, you have to have a way of paying for what you're purchasing. But no, we don't restrict it to key workers currently, and we currently just don't have any schemes at the moment that are specifically for key workers.
And Daniel, to you, Hyde?
No, exactly the same as Sarah, really. We haven't got anything specific to key workers. We do some targeted campaigns if we've got a development near to a hospital or a facility or a school, something like that, where we would kind of target those to advertise homes. But in terms of kind of offering anything specific, we don't do that at the moment, unfortunately.
For all our wonderful NHS staff who've worked so tirelessly through the pandemic, we would encourage you to contact the housing associations, because there is a home there for you, obviously. Like, another question.
Yeah, how competitive is the application process? I've heard it's very difficult to get accepted for shared ownership, as there are so many people applying for each unit.
Oh dear. Daniel?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. We've got quite a vigorous sales allocation process at Hyde, where we will look at each application in its own merit, and we will offer homes to those with the highest priority. But we will also ask applicants to fill in a reservation form with more than one property choice at the time that they reserve, so that if we're unable to offer their first or second choice, there's always an alternative option that we can then offer. But our sales consultants will always pick up the phone and talk them through the availability if we can't offer them something that they initially wanted to reserve. So yeah, it is a tough market out there, but there is plenty of options and developments available for our customers to come and have a look. So again, I would recommend just getting onto the websites, having a look at the availability and making some inquiries from there, and we will just guide them through that process.
And Sarah, the same at Notting Hill, I'm sure.
Yeah, I agree. But also, have some flexibility when you're looking. If the one that you haven't got isn't quite right or has already been reserved, you'll find that the way that we've planned a development, you're going to have another really great viable option. It either might just be up a floor or down a floor, or a slightly different sort of internal layout. But the breadth of the developments that we actually build and the quality of how we look at internal layouts, I would say that you have enough information and enough choice to, and if you like the area and it fits in with your affordability criteria, I'm sure we can help you.
Very good, thank you. Another question.
Yeah, so this one is, can you explain a little bit more about staircasing? I think they understand that you buy a share to begin with, but are interested in how you come to own the home outright.
Sarah, would you be able to explain about staircasing?
Yeah, so staircasing is just what we say to cover the fact that shared ownership, you're not just limited to a share, that initial share that you buy. If you started on the property ladder at 25, and remember, you can be higher than that depending on your particular circumstances, shared ownership gives you the opportunity to own 100% of your home. And as I said, there's no pressure. It's as and when you can do and when you can afford to. So if you start up at 25%, you can then at your convenience, and obviously working with us as leaseholders, then purchase. Daniel, what's the increments?
From experience, it's usually increments of 10%.
Yeah.
And the way we do it, we just explain to people looking at it from a financial perspective, to do the minimum 10%, when you look at the cost involved, it's probably financially beneficial to increase your shares by 25-30% increments at a time. But obviously it's again down to affordability. But it does, as you say, gives that flexibility over time without any pressure on our leaseholders, that they've got that option to increase their ownership in their homes.
That's great. And can you just explain how, as you buy more, you pay less rent? Can you just explain that, Daniel?
Yeah, so obviously as the rent is always calculated on the unsold equity, so the equity that's retained by the housing associations. So over time, as your ownership in that property increases, the ownership of what the unsold equity decreases, therefore your rent reduces in line with that. So the more you own in your property, the less rent you pay on the unsold equity. So it is a great way of increasing ownership without those heavy costs involved. So your rent decreases in line with your ownership going in the other direction. And we've got dedicated teams at Hyde that deal specifically with staircasing. So we've got plenty of information online on our website and some guides to that staircasing process, which you'll find really useful. And that's just got some FAQs in there as well about that process.
Brilliant.
And what I would say is, make sure you at that time when you're searching through your property options, make sure you discuss that with a sales advisor as well. So you know the whole of the journey that you're going to take. It'll be really, really important to you. That
is really, really good advice, that you can actually look at it from beginning to end and know where you can get. But as you say quite rightly, you don't have to staircase. It's an optional thing. Absolutely. Thank you. Well, I think we've sort of run out of time. It's been a very lovely morning to hear everything that you've been talking about. I'm just going to quickly remind you that there is another webinar on Monday at 5 o'clock. And this is all about how much shared ownership costs. So that will be a very interesting one, I'm sure. And Daniel's mentioned a few times on Tuesday, again at 5 o'clock, there's a webinar about mortgage and legal side of things. So again, that will be a very key one to tune into. Wednesday, the 23rd, as I said, the 1 o'clock lunchtime. This is going to be with Johnny Irwin and a panel of experts talking about shared ownership and answering a lot more of your questions. So one more time, do go to sharedownershipweek.co.uk to get all the information you need. I'd really like to thank Sarah and Daniel for giving up their time this morning. It's been really great. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.